and welcome to Vacations in Florida. We want to wish you a happy new year. This is our first broadcast in 2018. I've got two guests with us today. I've got JD on my right hand, and I got Jazzy on my left. Wave, Jazzy. There you go. All right, our two guests went with us to Disney World. So we're going to review Disney World and tell you all about what we did, some of the good things, some of the bad things. Now, when we first went down there, we didn't obviously film every single minute of our trip down there, so I want to tell you a little bit about what we did. Now, first of all, when we got ready to buy the tickets, we decided to buy those season passes, and those turned out to be pretty good. And we had free parking, which helped us out a whole lot. And we got discounts on a lot of stuff that we bought over there, so it's well worth the money. Plus, not the opportunity to be able to go again if we decide to. The first place we went to was Disney Springs. We got to walk around, activate our bands. And you remember activating the band? Mm-hmm. Was it hard?
Not really.
Not really? So what do you remember they did?
We went up to a person and they scanned our bands and they gave us cards to prove that we're pass holders.
And that was about it. You remember scanning your band?
Yeah.
Yeah. Was it fun?
Yeah.
Oh, I see. It was a good process for everybody. So while we were at Disney Springs, you could do that at the customer relations office that they have there. That way you don't have to worry about it, because when you first go there and you haven't activated your bands, you have to go through the customer service at whichever park you go to first, and that's going to take up your time, destroy a little magic, trying to go in there. Not a lot of fun, is it? All right. So we went to Disney Springs. We got to enjoy some of the food we got to eat there. We got to enjoy some of the shopping there. There's a lot of new things there since the last time we had gone a few years ago. So we are going to talk about the first place we went to, and that was Hollywood Studios. So we're going to show little clips of that here and there. I've got a little green screen behind us, so you might be able to see some of the reruns from some of the past episodes, so we can help explain some of the things that we did. So when we went to Hollywood Studios, do you remember some of the things we did?
Star Wars, the Star Wars simulator.
Oh yeah. So how was that?
That was fun. I got to go on it twice because she was just barely too short to go on.
Oh, that's right. You didn't get to do the simulator, did you? No. So we did the simulator, minus Jazzy. But we did get to go into the Star Wars, what was the name of the other thing? It was I can't remember the name of it. But we walked in there, and it was like a little museum, and then we got to meet some stars. Who did we all meet?
Elsa.
Elsa? I don't remember Elsa in Star Wars. Who else did we meet?
Did we meet Star-Lord?
Star-Lord. We saw Star-Lord.
And Baby Groot.
Baby Groot. And BB-8. Didn't we get to see BB-8?
Mm-hmm.
You remember BB-8?
Yeah.
What did he say to you?
I don't know.
Was it kind of like beep, 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 beep?
Yeah.
All right, we got to do that, and then we did a variety of other small things, but at the time they were overhauling the park, and there wasn't a whole lot to do at Hollywood Studios. We did get to go to Disney Junior. You remember that?
Yeah.
You remember having fun, watching all the characters?
Yeah.
Who did you remember the most?
Elsa?
Elsa? I don't think she was there either. All right, so we got to ride the Tower of Terror. Me and JD did. She was too short. But what did y'all do in the meantime? Do you remember? Do some shopping? Oh, well, that's in another part. So we did the Tower of Terror. It was a lot of fun. And then we did the Rock and Roller Coaster. And that was a blast.
Standing on the bottom step.
Is that where you were? Were you waving?
Yes.
Okay, so basically that was pretty much it for Hollywood Studios. So the next day we went to the Magic Kingdom. We went to the Magic Kingdom. Who did we see? Stitch?
Stitch.
You saw Stitch? We got to do the Jungle Cruise, but it wasn't the Christmas one because this was right before Christmas. We actually went back in October. But we did get to see a lot of the Halloween decorations. And what else did we do?
See Magic Kingdom.
Did the cards? What did you call those?
Oh yeah, the sorcerer's cards.
Yeah, tell us about that. How did that go?
It's kind of like this kind of trading, but it's like a card game, and you collect as many cards as you can. And then there's these certain spots in the Magic Kingdom, and the spellcaster, because all these cards are spells. The spellcaster would take their band to the little slot, and it would open up this magic portal, and you're supposed to defeat various Disney enemies. Like the first one we went to was the Voodoo Man from Princess and the Frog, and that was fun. It's a really fun thing to do. And once you get to like a final boss, there's actually like the portal is hidden very well, because and then when you do it, there'll be like curtains that open up.
And this was all free. We didn't have to pay extra for this. This is a little extra something. This is mostly for people who attend the park on a regular basis, not just your first time. That's something you want to do on your first time, but if you go again, it'd be something to do to kind of do something a little different. But it's a lot of fun. And do you remember playing that game with the cards?
Yeah.
And every time you sign up, you get 5 new cards for free.
Ooh, yeah. So check into that. All right, some of the rides we did was the Jungle Cruise, and we're going to show some of the clips of that. We did the Haunted Mansion. You remember that?
Yes.
You remember that?
Yes.
What'd you like best about the Haunted Mansion?
Doing that.
Oh, okay. And we stayed in line, and we got to play with some of the things in line too, didn't we? Remember the music, hitting the wall, and all that kind of stuff?
No.
You don't remember?
No.
That was a long time ago, let me tell you. Oh my goodness. So we got to do a lot of things. We also did the Ariel's Adventure. What do you call that?
The Ariel's Grotto.
There we go, Ariel's Grotto. And we did the ride there, and that was a lot of fun. And we got to see a lot of parades. In fact, Jazzy got to do a dance party. Remember the dance party? We got to dance with the characters.
Yes.
Was that fun?
Uh-huh.
Did you have a good time?
Yes.
You want to go again? What do you remember about that?
I remember dancing with the people.
The people. All right.
It was the 2 characters from Zootopia,
Oh.
Officer Hops and Nick.
Awesome. So there was a lot of fun. We did the transit people mover. That was a lot of fun. That was a nice way to relax once you've been on your feet all day. We got to taste test Casey's hot dogs. Remember that? Mm-hmm. Yep. Did you have a hot dog?
My personal favorite is the mac and cheese dog.
Ooh, the mac and cheese dog. There's some big hot dogs they had there, wasn't there? You remember eating a hot dog? Okay, so we got to do a lot at the Magic Kingdom, and then the next day we went to Epcot, or was it, we went to Animal Kingdom. Animal Kingdom was a blast. We walked through Pandora first. What do you remember most about that?
The drink that we got.
Ooh, that was good. Tell us about that drink.
It had like these little balls in it. I forgot what they were called. Do you remember what they were
I
called?
don't remember the name of it, but they look like little flavor balls.
Yeah, and they like burst in your mouth. They're really good, and they get on top of your out of this world drink because you are no longer on Earth. And at night, once the light goes out, the floor, the ground glows. All the plants glow.
Yep, that was a lot of fun. And then we did the Flight of Passage and the Navi River journey. Navi River journey is great. It's just kind of a short ride. It's a long line for both of them because they're fairly new rides. And the Flight of Passage was an extremely long line. I think we waited in line for what, like 2.5 hours?
3.
3 hours, but it was well worth it. Outstanding ride. It's kind of a flight simulator kind of ride, but it just attacks all your senses, your smell, your vision, moving and everything. So it was a lot of fun. And then we left there and we went throughout the other parts of the park. We did the dinosaur ride. Remember that? Inside, right? And then we got to eat there, and then we did something else that was kind of rare, a new thing they started now that they've opened later, was the nighttime jungle adventure. Going through the savannah at night. It was fairly fun, but it's just kind of hard to see
Yeah,
the
like-
animals and things like that.
Like you'd see a shadow of a tree and you'd be like, is that a rhinoceros? And
Yep, and a lot of those animals are kind of sleeping the same time we
Yeah.
sleep, so not very many of them were up and around.
I think I saw like a lion.
Yeah. So the nighttime safari it was fun. It was definitely different, and they do have lights through there where you can see things, but it's just nowhere near as good as it is during the day.
A lot of the animals are too far away for the light to reach.
Yeah, and they'll be telling you, "Hey, look over there," and you look over there, and all you see is dark shadows of trees.
Like, I think I see a tree.
Yes.
One time I thought I saw an animal, but it was a rock. That was fun.
Yep. So it was a lot of fun, but just be a little cautious. Don't expect a whole lot if you go in the nighttime. It's a lot of definitely different. So give it a shot. It was something cool to do that we hadn't done before. And then they have the shows at night, but we didn't catch those. But we went back to the Pandora and we saw the lights, as you said earlier, at night, and that was a lot of fun. And they have a lot of effects and things, not just on the ground, but all over and all around. It kind of puts you in that setting, so that was a lot of fun.
You can feel the heartbeat of an alien.
Yep. Then the next day we went to Epcot. And Epcot was having their food and wine festival at the time, and we took advantage of that towards the end of the day. But at the beginning, we went to the Frozen ride, and that was a blast. I mean, it was the old Norway Pavilion ride that was there, and they've changed it into the Frozen ride, and it was really good. Remember parts of it?
Oh yeah.
What was your favorite parts of it?
The drop, as always, but other than that,
Thrill show.
I love the Snowbies.
Yep. It was a lot of fun, a lot of special effects, and almost all the songs that were in the movie are on the ride. So, and then the queue going into the ride was pretty good too. It had a lot of interactive stuff in it, and kind of like you were in the village and things like that before you got onto the ride. So that was a lot of fun. They've redone that whole Norway area, and they've made it look really nice. We went to the little food court where they have different types of sodas. You can taste test those. Those are all free. That's a lot of fun,
It was a Coca-Cola store that was over there.
right? And they had all the different variations of Coca-Cola from around the world there. That was a lot of fun. What were some of the highlights for you there?
The normal Coke, but I would recommend not trying Beverly. There is no flavor. It is just carbonated water. But it's very popular, and I think it was Europe. But
Yeah, I don't remember
would
what
not
country
recommend.
that came from, but oh my goodness, it was not good. But it's fun. And, I mean,
yeah,
you
it's
could
fun
go
to
there.
try.
Yeah, you could just, if you got a spouse or somebody, say, hey, try this. This is pretty good.
There was someone who tried to do that to me. They were like, hey, have you tried Beverly yet? And I was like, actually, yeah. And she was like, oh, man.
Yep, I remember some good ones there. Bebo, remember Bebo? Mm-hmm. That was a pretty good one, I thought. And but there were some good drinks there. That's a lot of fun to go try out. We went and saw the Figment ride. We missed that the first time around. Caught that this time. That was a lot of fun. Another good line cue for that. And you remember much about that as far as what you liked?
Probably when everything turns upside down and it's all like illuminated and black light.
Mm-hmm. That was a lot of fun. A lot of special effects in there as well. Oh, a lot of things are. Soarin' was an awesome ride. They've had a different film for that, and that was really good. We did the Living with the Land. Remember that, where we went through and saw the plants and stuff. Now, that's really interesting because they have a lot of high-tech ways of growing plants and things. That's really unique and interesting.
It's also cool because everything that they grow is what they actually use in the food court. Like,
Yep.
The only thing they use in the
All the restaurants.
food court is from that garden.
Yeah, that was really interesting. We got to get around and see all the lands. We went to Mexico. We got to do the Three Amigos ride, and that was a lot of fun. They have Mexico's probably one of the best pavilions over there. It's just kind of immerses you all the way into a nighttime Mexico type thing. What else do you remember about that side of Epcot? At night, it was really neat. We went through there at night, but that led us into the later in the day. We went to the they had a pavilion for the food and wine festival. We did a lot of shopping in there, a lot of taste testing. Ghirardelli, we went and got us some hot cocoa. You remember that? That was some good stuff there. If you ever get a chance to drink hot cocoa from Ghirardelli, that is good. But we went through and we saved up something that was really good, especially to do the Food and Wine Festival. We had a gift card with about $100 on it, and we went through, it was a Disney gift card, and we went through and taste tested each of the little pavilions for each of the countries for that Food and Wine Festival, and we got to taste test each one of those things, which was really neat. And using that gift card was a whole lot more convenient than anything else. Plus, you limit yourself and budget yourself to a certain amount of money if you're worried about that. So that way when you run out, then you know you're done. But we didn't even run out, and we still had a great time. What's some of the good food you remember?
I remember stuffed mushrooms.
Stuffed mushrooms.
Those are pretty good.
There was a lot. It's just food. It was desserts. They had drinks. We went into the one that had the glow in the dark stuff. Remember the glow nuts?
Oh, yeah, it was the Light Lab.
Light Lab. That was a lot of fun. And they had that cotton candy drink.
It was really sweet. Like,
Yep. It was really good. And we got to really enjoy that. They got different festivals throughout the year. They also have the spring festival where you go out and they have the flowers out and all that, Flower and Garden Festival. And we're kind of hoping we might make a little trip at that time. We'll see. But we got to taste test a lot of things. We went through all the pavilions. I think we hit just about every food stand there was. But we split all our taste testing, me, Indiana, and then the kids and their parents. So it was a lot of fun. And then what else did we do after that? We saw the fireworks at the end, the little light show that they did. And then that was pretty much it for Epcot. So the next day, that was it. That was the last park, right? Okay. So the next day we went to Disney Springs, and we visited the Coca-Cola store, and we got to go to the top floor of that. And then what was it we drank up there? It was like a...
we had Coke floats.
Coke floats, that's what it was. That was a lot of fun. They had some neat stuff in there. They got a lot of really cool things to buy, Coca-Cola related items, and they have pictures you can take. So if you've got the, if you bought the picture package with your Disney package, that was also included into it, and you get that downloaded as well. That was a lot of fun. Also, we ate at the, what was the name of that restaurant? T-Rex. We got to witness a cataclysmic event every 30 minutes. We were inside the ice cave, and that was a lot of fun. A little pricey, but it was a lot of fun. And
Worth it. The food there was awesome.
Very good. And I'm sure we all gained a little weight leaving Disney.
You know it.
Yep. But overall, we had a really great time. If you go, you need to kind of plan ahead on some of the things you definitely want to see. I wouldn't plan your full day out, but kind of in each park, identify the things you definitely want to see and plan your time around it. You can always use those fast passes, but make sure you use fast passes for the lines you know are going to be long and for the things that you want, and make sure you set those times up and keep on top of it. Now, if you're able to use 3 of your fast passes, you can get another one later on in the day. The only problem with that is if you got a crowded day, a lot of those will not be available. So you got to plan ahead for the things you most want to do. So make sure that you check if you've got reservations within 6 months. be planning that way in advance. So I can't remember what the time was. I think it was within maybe 2 or 3 months you can start using your fast passes. So at the earliest time, you want to go ahead and start making those plans for your fast passes. Also plan out where you want to eat. Certain sit-down restaurants, a lot of times they're going to have book reservations already by the time you get there, so you're not going to be able to just walk into any place you want to eat when you're there. We ran across that situation trying to get into the sci-fi dining at Hollywood Studios. I planned it a little too late in advance. It was already booked when we got there, and there was no way to get in. So plan well, and you'll have a great time when you go. What are some of the other memorable events you can think of that we had, or any ideas or anything that you can think of?
No, the best time to go on It's a Small World is at night when most of the kids has either left or everybody has already gone on it, because at nighttime the line goes from like an hour to only 15 minutes.
Yeah, we were in line for how long? Like an hour?
I think it was like an hour and 15.
And we stood out in the sun for a good 15-20 minutes of that, and it was probably about 95, 98 degrees that day. It was hot. We were sweating. But that's a good point to make. And that's where all your good planning comes in to play there. But lots of areas in the parks you want to hit. You're not going to be able to do it all in one trip, not unless you're going to spend a whole week there and take your time. But go there and enjoy yourself. Don't get in a rush to go from point A to point B to point C, point D, and then next thing you know you're all wore out and then you still got point E to go to. So plan ahead, plan accordingly, and you'll have a great time. So that's about it. Wrap for our Disney trip. We're going to have more videos coming up. The weather's kind of delayed me in filming. We're going to film in our home area up here in the Panhandle. Looking at Seaside, Santa Rosa Beach area. Just waiting for that good weather to come up. We got some freezing precipitation coming up here in a couple days. So stay tuned. We're going to get you some more videos out there as soon as I can. Stick with us. And if you have any comments, suggestions, make sure you post them in the comments section below. Also, make sure you subscribe and like our videos. We really appreciate that. It helps us out a whole lot. We're trying to grow. If you like us, help us out. That's it for Vacations in Florida.
We'll be right back.